So Matt, I told him he wasn't going to have presenter notes about 5 minutes ago, so he's had to print them off. So apologies for that.
I should probably apologise myself as well, because this is quite a harrowing topic.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Concentration camps and starvation. Everyone wants to hear about this before Christmas, right? Yeah, sorry in advance. Is this started?
It hasn't started yet.
Okay.
Let me know when you want to.
Yeah, just hit play. Cool. So I want to talk about North Korea, fully known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, because it's a topic I'm quite interested in, and I think it's something that's in the media quite a lot, and it's something that gets kind of, say, a bad press. Maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it, but it's kind of disproportionate coverage of what's really going on. So a lot of people think of North Korea, they think of the so-ronry Team America World Police portrayal, or maybe things like Olympus Has Fallen, which features North Korean terrorists blowing up the White House. And again, I think that's quite a reductive sort of way of kind of laughing at North Korea, and actually there's quite a serious kind of backstory to that. So a bit of history. North Korea used to be Korea used to be occupied by Japan in 1910. When the Japanese Empire fell in 1945 after the war, Kim Il-sung took over. He was a guerrilla who was fighting against the occupation of Korea. The Allies stepped in and divided Korea up into two parts. So the US took the south and the Soviet Union took the north, and they installed Kim Il-sung as the dictator in charge. 5 years after that, Kim Il-sung declared war on the south and tried to reunify the two countries through war, that well-known reunification. He almost won, but the US kind of came in with support and sort of crushed him, and they almost were actually completely defeated. And that war's never been officially declared over, so they're technically still at war today. As Kim Il-sung got older, he kind of began to hand over power to his son, Kim Jong-il, who the government had to kind of work really hard using propaganda to make him seem like this intellectual genius, which he kind of wasn't. These paintings have to be in every house in North Korea, and you also have to wear badges with their faces on at all times. They brought their ideology with them, so this is the Juche Tower in Pyongyang. Juche is this concept of kind of self-reliance, and it basically means that kind of everything Korean is good, and you shouldn't use anything not Korean, so that's closed down trade within North Korea. Another ideology item is this concept of Songun, which is military first, and it basically means every resource in North Korea goes towards the military first and foremost. Food, money, kind of all sorts of resources, means they've got the largest standing army on the planet. That policy means that things like this are really common. So this is North Korea from space, kind of highlighted here. The bright spot is Pyongyang, everything else is in darkness because they don't have enough money to run power, and that's also true of Pyongyang itself as well. North Korea actually has this concept of collective guilt. So if you're caught sort of bad-mouthing the government or stealing food so that you can stay alive, you and your entire family for multiple generations might get dragged off to a place like Yodok. Yodok, this isn't funny, this is a concentration camp. It's probably the North Korean equivalent of Auschwitz. This exists right now, today, and it's on Google Maps with 3.5-star reviews, which is horrific, in the mountains. It's a terrifying place, and we only know about this from survivors and escapees who managed to bring the story out. This is a kind of street seller selling food in the 90s. North Korea had a massive kind of famine, 3.5 million people died as a result of that. And normally these kind of things were completely banned because they don't believe in any form of capitalism, but the government turned a blind eye to it because people need to eat. And the reason that kind of happened is because the government kind of had no idea what was really going on the streets, because everyone lied to the people above them about what their production values were because they were scared of repercussions. So the leaders kind of had no idea just how shit things actually were. This is a snack called a choco pie. North Korea and South Korea have these joint factories on the borders, and some of the workers get paid in these things. They used to be available in the north, now they're not, but the south has loads of them. They're just chocolate biscuits. One of these can fetch £16 in North Korea on an annual salary of £1,000. That's quite a significant amount. It's not all terrible, so communication's actually improved, so people do actually have phones now nearer the border where they can pick up the Chinese signal. There's even DVDs and kind of DVD players being imported as well, although the internet's still completely locked down. It's basically an intranet within the country. North Korea is kind of the land of bad options, really. The people with the power to change things have no interest in doing so. So South Korea doesn't want to kind of pay for sorting out the economy. China and Russia don't want millions of refugees on their borders. Neither do America. And the people in charge definitely don't want it to change because the repercussions for them will be a bullet in the head or some sort of military tribunal. The only people who want it to change are the people who've got no say in the matter, which are the 23 million normal citizens of Korea. This is the border between North and South Korea. It's heavily guarded. You've basically got no chance of ever crossing that. You'll just be killed immediately. The only way out is to go north via China and then travel thousands of miles to the South Korean embassy in Beijing if you want to get resettled. If you want to do that, it's a long and costly process. This is what it looks like in South Korea. They send these information balloons across the border to try and help people, give them hope, tell them what's going on in the rest of the world. But the North Korean government actually pay people to bring these things unopened back to the government headquarters, so there's no knowledge that they're actually working. Finally, this is on the North Korea-China border. This display there says, "If our party decides, we will do it." From the outside, there's not a huge amount that we can actually do to help, apart from just spread awareness. But the recent execution of Kim Jong-un's uncle suggests that there is perhaps some popular support for change in the country, that there might be some hope for freedom one day from now. Thanks. Just before Simon steps in, at great expense, I managed to procure. So, for a donation of about 2.5% of your salaries, that's how much you go for. You can try one of these, but just think a little bit about what that might represent.